Hello, and welcome to Best Movies in Less Time. Today I'm going to talk about the American action movie Chaos Walking, which is set in the future. Spoilers are coming up. Watch out and be careful. The movie takes place on a planet called the New World, which is a long way from Earth. In this world, the sun never sets. It is the year 2258. Some people left Earth to live on another world because they wanted a better way of life. People have found everything they had on Earth and more in the New World. When people first came to the New World, they found that all men had a disease called noise. When this disease affects a guy, everyone can see and hear what he is thinking. It also lets them do cool things, like make 3D holograms with their voices that others can see with their own eyes. The local humanoids, who were called the Spackle, and the human immigrants fought a bloody civil war. During the war, it seemed like the Spackle killed all of the female refugees, but about half of the men survived. Since then, the first people to live on Mars haven't been able to talk to Earth or anyone else. Todd Hewitt is a young man who lives with a group of people called Prentisstown. When Todd was young, his mother and father died in the war. He now lives with Ben Moore and Cillian Boyd, who raised him like their own son. Todd has never been with a woman, unlike his dad. Most of the time, he helps his dad work in the field. He wants to be like David Prentice, the colony's mayor, one day. Prentice has learned to control his noise, which makes it hard to see and hear his thoughts. One day, the second group of people comes to live there on a mothership. They send a small ship with 3 people on it to check out the world. When the scout ship got close to the New World, it caught fire and fell into the woods near Prentisstown. While helping his dad, Todd sees someone take food from his dad's barn. He sends Manchi, his dog, into the woods after the thief. He can't find the thief in the end, but he does find where the plane crashed. He thinks that the thief must have been the person who was still there. He runs straight to the mayor to tell him about the spaceship. He tries to keep quiet as he walks, but the other men hear and see him thinking about the ship that crashed. So they all go to the crash site to find out what happened and take some parts of the ship. Mayor Prentice thinks that the survivor must be a girl because she didn't make any noise. He orders his men to find her. When Todd is alone, the girl comes up to him. When Todd sees a girl for the first time, he is scared, shocked, and amazed. But Todd can't keep quiet, so he tells everyone in town where she is by mistake. The girl keeps running deeper into the woods, but Prentice catches her with a 3D hologram net. Prentice takes her to his house and tells her he's sorry that the other 2 team members died. The girl finds out about the noise and the war with the Spackle, which killed all the women in Prentisstown. Prentice asks her what she is doing, and she tells him that she came here on a scout ship sent by the mothership to get in touch with the first wave of colonies. The largest ship in the second group of immigrants is the mothership. It has space for 4,000 people. It will soon be there to help her. When Prentice keeps asking her about the ship and when and where it will land, the girl starts to wonder what he wants. Prentice has to quickly go outside to talk to the guys, who are making a lot of noise and are very interested in the female guest. Davy is told to keep an eye on her before he goes. The spoiled brat starts looking through the girl's bag. By mistake, he plays with one of her tools, which sparks and makes the girl disappear. The girl is trying to get away when she hears Prentice talking to Aaron, a well-known preacher in the town. Prentice says he's tired of living in exile. He wants to take her base's mothership and use it to take over the rest of the world. He says they have to stop her from getting in touch with the mothership and warning it. In the meantime, the priest is certain that the girl is an angel sent from heaven to punish the men of Prentisstown for their sins. While Prentice and others look for the girl, Todd steals her bag from the mayor's house in hopes of finding some cool stuff. When Todd gets home, he looks through the bag and is surprised to find the girl hiding in his barn. One of Prentice's guys sees the girl's jacket and goes looking for her. Todd tells the man to leave and gives the girl a place to hide. Ben and Cillian figure out who the girl is and lock her up in a barn. They tell their son that if he wants to stay out of trouble, he needs to give the girl back to Prentice. But Todd won't do what they say. Todd is still trying to help the girl. Ben and Cillian give in, giving Todd what could be his only chance to start a family on his own. Ben tells Todd to take the girl to Far Branch. Todd didn't know that Far Branch was another town on the planet with people. Cillian thinks that the people there don't like guys from Prentisstown, but Ben tells him that they won't hurt Todd as long as the girl is with him. But before Todd can leave with the girl, Prentice and his men come looking for her. The girl takes off on a motorcycle, and Todd rides after her. Prentiss kills Cillian because he is mad that Todd hid the girl, and he wants revenge. Prentiss then asks Ben to help him find Todd and the girl, giving Ben a chance to save his own life and Todd's. In the end, Todd does catch up to the girl. They'd lost their motorcycle and horse in an accident, so they walk to Far Branch with Todd's dog. He can't believe how strong she is, and can't always keep up with how fast she moves. At first, she doesn't believe him, but Todd ends up convincing her and helping her find a snake for lunch. She finally tells Todd that her name is Viola. She was born on the mothership, and both of her parents died during the 64-year journey from Earth to the New World. Viola's grandparents signed up for the trip because they wanted to find better jobs in the faraway world. On his way to Far Branch, Todd gets hit by a spackle. Todd gets Spackle under control and is about to kill it, but Viola teaches him to be kind and tells him to let it go. When they get to Far Branch, they find that people live there, including men, women, and children. They meet Hildy, who is the mayor of the town. Far Branch finds out from Viola that Todd is from Prentisstown. She has no idea that Far Branch doesn't like the town of Prentisstown. Todd is immediately put in handcuffs, while Hildy talks to Viola by herself. The men of the town go up to Todd, but the mayor tells them to back off after he talks to Viola. Prentiss and his guys are still chasing Todd and the girl. Aaron, the preacher, is going crazier and crazier. Todd and Viola need a place to stay and food to eat, so the mayor gives them both. She also tells them that Viola can talk to her mothership in Haven, the first human city in the New World, which Todd also didn't know. Viola decides to go to Haven the next morning. Todd starts to think about what would happen if Viola didn't leave and instead stayed with him and kissed him. Viola knows what he's thinking, and Todd feels bad about it and says sorry. After dinner, Hildy gives each of them their own room to sleep in, but Todd can't fall asleep because he keeps thinking about Viola leaving. He looks in Ben's bag and sees that his mother wrote in a book. He shows it to Viola, who is still awake at the same time. Todd tells Viola that he can't read, so he doesn't know what his mother wrote. Aaron, the mayor of Prentisstown when Todd was a child, burned all the books. He thought that being born with a noise was enough to teach him. Viola says she will tell Todd what it says. Todd's mother is named Carissa. "My dear Todd," writes Carissa, "I began this book on your birthday. You're the most beautiful thing I've seen in New York. God took your dad away, and I wish he could have met you. The New World women won't know what's going on. David Prentiss was the one who convinced us to find a place to live on the other side of the river, away from the noise of the rest of the New World. Prentiss seems to be full of lies and shame, but that's not allowed here. He can make his noise go away better than any man here. This place is always so loud. Men don't like it when women know everything about them." Todd finds out that Prentiss and the men of Prentisstown, not the local aliens, killed the women. He feels angry and cheated because everything he was told was a lie. Prentiss and his men go to Far Branch to ask for Viola. While Todd and Viola try to get away, Hildy and the other people who live in Far Branch keep them busy. They have to hide in a storage room when Preacher Aaron finds them. A Far Branch woman keeps Aaron and other guys away by using a gun. Prentiss sends Ben to convince Todd to give up Viola in return for his life. Todd asks Ben what's in the notebook. Ben says he tried to help the women, but he couldn't. It was awful. He could only do what he could to protect Todd. Ben apologizes to Todd for keeping him in the dark and tells him, "Let me protect you now." Ben and Todd must get the girl out of the house, or Prentiss will kill them. Ben leaves the store, and Viola comes out after him. He tells her he's glad to see her again as she walks toward Prentiss. But when Viola just disappears, Prentiss and the other guys are shocked. Ben made the noise with a 3D picture to throw off Prentiss and other people, while the real Viola, Todd, and Manchi ran out the back door. But Aaron sees them and begins to follow them. They find a boat and escape down the river. Aaron keeps going after them and ends up tipping over their boat. Todd saves Viola and gets away with her, but the psychopath Aaron kills Manchi, which makes Todd even angrier. Todd is very sad about Manchi's death, but Viola makes him feel better, and they continue on their way to Haven. The first group of colonists built towers to stop a train. These towers show them the way. Viola and Todd see the remains of the first ship that brought people to the island while they are on their way. They are getting closer to Prentiss and his men. Todd says that they should keep going, but Viola tells him that they don't have much time left, and that they can use the ship's emergency communication. They look through the rubble and find the receiver, but Viola tells them that the antenna is broken. Viola stops trying, but Todd says he can help. He climbs up the mast and tells Viola to be ready to send the signal when it's time. Just as Prentice, his men, and Ben got there, Todd fixed the antenna. Prentice says he will kill Ben if Todd doesn't give up, but Ben tells his son not to do what Prentice wants. Aaron, the preacher, sneaks on board and hits Viola at the same time. Aaron feels bad that he killed the people of Prentisstown. He is sad that he doesn't know the difference between the noise and God's words. He thinks he's a sinner, so he begs Viola to kill him and make him clean. Viola has no choice but to use one of her tools to set Aaron on fire. He says, "Fire has baptized me. I'm the bad guy," and then he dies. Viola then sends an SOS signal to the mothership, and Todd gives himself up to Prentice. This time, when Prentice asks Todd about the girl, Todd doesn't make a lot of noise. When Prentice gets mad, he shoots his father, and Todd immediately goes to Ben's side. Before he dies, Ben tells Todd again that he's sorry he didn't tell him about his mother. He also gives Todd a knife. Todd tries to hurt Prentice with the knife, but he gets knocked down and loses the knife. Todd tries to get away, but Prentice shoots him and hurts him. Then Todd sneaks up on Prentice from behind, but then he figures out it was all a trick. Then Prentice shoots him, but Todd stops him by making him think his mother and other women from Prentisstown are there and calling him a fool. They put Prentice at the edge of a cliff. Then Viola comes over with a pipe and hits him. He dodges the blow and grabs the pipe, but he loses his balance in the process. Then Viola lets go of Prentice, who dies when he falls. While Viola is helping Todd, who is badly hurt, the colony mothership arrives, which scares Davy and the other men of Prentisstown. Later, Todd wakes up in the hospital room of the mothership with Viola next to him. He is completely better. Viola tells him that she will move to the new world with him, and she takes him around to meet the other people who live there. Thanks for watching. Click this video to enjoy another best movie in less time.